Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be able to share with you my recipe for Black Forest Gateau. This cake has 3 layers of soft chocolatey Kirsch sponge with Chantilly cream and all things cherry and chocolate. I hope you like this recipe as much as I do. Okay, let's start baking Black Forest Gateau. We're starting with the chocolate sponge. This sponge has no butter in it, so it's lovely and light. Pour the eggs into a large bowl and add the sugar and the vanilla extract. You need to whisk this for about 8 to 10 minutes so your mixture increases in volume and air is whipped into it. You'll know when the mixture is ready when the whisks leave trails in the mixture. You can also check this by lifting the whisks and drawing the number 8 on top of the mixture. If it stays on top, it's ready, but if it sinks, then you have to whisk it for a little longer and try again. Now we're going to start adding the flour and cocoa powder. Make sure you sieve both as it adds air to the flour and helps the cake to rise. I add a little at a time, about 2 tablespoons. The flour I'm using is plain and has no raising agent in it, so it's important not to knock the air out of the egg and sugar mixture. Fold the flour and cocoa in with a spatula or a metal spoon. This stage has to be done by hand. Fold it in gently, making sure that there are no lumps of flour left in the mixture. If you happen to live in the United States, you need to use cake flour for this cake, not all-purpose, as it has too much protein in it for this cake. Let's get this into the cake tins. I'm using 3 8-inch sandwich tins which I've lined with greaseproof paper. Bake at 180 degrees Celsius, 355 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes. Cool in the tin for about 5 minutes before turning out onto a cooling rack to cool completely. Next we're going to prepare the syrup. Place the juice from the cherries in a bowl and add some sugar. The sugar will just take the sharpness out of the cherry juice. Heat in the microwave or in a saucepan until the sugar is completely melted. Now let's make the Chantilly cream. I'm making a Chantilly cream today. It's just cream with icing sugar and vanilla extract, and you just whip it together until it's firm. You can also make a Kirsch cream if you prefer. You can do this by whipping the cream and the icing sugar together until it's firm and then fold in a tablespoon or 2 of Kirsch. Now that we've everything done, we can assemble the Black Forest Gateau. When the cherry syrup is cool, you can add the Kirsch. You can add a tablespoon or 2 of Kirsch depending on how you like it. Now let's get the cake together. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to brush the sponge with the cherry and Kirsch syrup. Brush enough on, but make sure you don't soak the sponge either, as this is a light sponge. The syrup will give the sponge a lovely flavour of Kirsch. Add the cherry preserve and spread it out. This preserve has large cherries in it, but also like to add a few of the tinned cherries. I really like a Black Forest Gateau with lots of cherries in it. Put a few spoons of the whipped cream on top and spread it out. Repeat the same process for the next layer. So you're going to put the syrup on, the cherry preserve and then the cream. On the final layer, brush the sponge with the cherry syrup and add the whipped cream. Spread it out and down the sides of the cake as well. I'm going to add chocolate to the side of the cake. Use a potato peeler to make your shavings and leave in the freeze until you're ready to use. Stick chocolate shavings to the sides of the cake by using the palm of your hand, just like what I'm doing here. It's a little bit messy, but just keep going and you'll get it right. Now to make the cake look pretty, pipe 12 cream swirls around the side of the cake. I'm using my favourite Wilton 1M tip to do these. In the centre I'm going to add some of the cherry preserve, and I've added some of the tinned cherries to the preserve along with a little bit of the Kirsch syrup. Finish off by placing a cherry on each of the cream swirls. Time to cut a nice big slice. Just look at those chocolatey cherry cream layers. Black Forest Gateau is one of my favourite cakes and takes me back to when I was small and my mum used to make them. I hope you try out this recipe and really enjoy it. You'll find the recipe for this Black Forest Gateau in the description box under the video. Let me know how you get on if you do make it. Thanks for watching and happy baking everyone.